Hey boudoir photographers, are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey guys, welcome back to Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. You guys may have noticed over the last few months that things have been a little weird, a little slower, and that is because I've been going through some changes, some definite growth in my business. If you're following my Instagram at It's Tracy Lynn, you probably noticed that we have created, rebranded, relaunched my Boudoir by Tracy Lynn brand. It is now TK Boudoir. We have an episode coming, I believe, in just a couple weeks, all about what this rebrand, why we did it, all the things. So just wait. We're gonna dive into all the information. And by we, I mean that I've also brought on a full-time employee. She works on the boudoir side and she works on this side with my education business. So just so you know, that is coming. You're going to get the behind the scenes, all the things with that. You might also notice if you're watching this on YouTube, my face is not in this because we've been in Hattiesburg, Mississippi the night before. We had a tornado tear through the campground. It wasn't horrible. Things are fine. There's some trees down. It didn't hit our camper. It hit some campers, but everyone is safe. Everyone is fine. There were no injuries even. So things are okay. It was just a little scary, and I did have a hot shower last night, but now our hot water heater went out. So things are crazy, and I didn't get a shower to wash my hair and be able to record this video. So if you're watching it on YouTube, I'm just going to go ahead and apologize, and it will be going forward filmed, hopefully most times. But I want to go ahead and dive into the episode today. What I want to talk about is actually preparing your audience for your big sale. Now, when we talk about sales, especially in such a personal and intimate field like boudoir photography, timing and strategy are everything. It's not just about slashing prices or offering a one-off deal. It's about creating an experience so compelling that it not only attracts your clients, but also leaves them feeling empowered and excited to book a session. Many of you might know that, or you might remember that we used to recommend launching these sales around Memorial Day weekend. It's a time when everyone's already in a good mood, thinking about summer, relaxation, going on vacations, going to the lake. But I've learned a thing or two from past experiences, and it turns out that Memorial Day weekend might not be the golden opportunity we thought for catching everyone's attention. And the reason why is simple. During long weekends, we're ignoring our emails. We're ignoring social posts. They get less traction because, well, let's face it, everyone's out and about. They're soaking up the sun. They're on the lake. They're not scrolling through their feeds. So after a bit of trial and error, and thanks to some invaluable feedback from clients and photographers, we've shifted our strategy in my boudoir business. And now we're targeting the week before Memorial Day or the first few weeks of June. And they're ready to take the summer to prep and get ready. They've got their tan on, so they know that they'll be looking good for their boudoir session. So it's really just a good time for boudoir. And to be honest, it's coming up soon, so I wanted to record this episode to get you set up for success. Today's episode is going to unpack everything to do with running a successful semi-annual sale. We're going to discuss how to structure your sale to not only attract attention, but also ensure there is irresistible enough that your clients can't help but take advantage of them. And of course, we're going to cover the all-important customer journey from that first email to the final delivery of their photos. So grab your notebook or just settle in. But this is one of those episodes where you're going to want to take notes or go check out the blog post or show notes. And we're going to dive into making your semi-annual sale a success. Now let's get into the meat of today's discussion, and that's the special offer that's at the heart of your semi-annual sale. If you followed along for very long, you know that I'm all about giving clients a fantastic and luxury experience. So here's the offer. We do the luxury boudoir session at $99. That comes with hair and makeup and $150 print credit. I know what you might be thinking. How can a low session fee be profitable and sustainable? Let me break down the offer. So first of all, the $99 covers the client session fee. That's typically $299. So yes, I'm gonna have to pay my hair and makeup artist out of my own pocket. However, I'm not that worried about that. The $99 session fee is the client's fee to an experience that's designed to make them feel comfortable, confident, and beautiful. And that's what's going to help them understand the value of what we're offering and not freak out about the prices of products. So there is a little bit of strategy behind how the print credit works. So the minimum purchase requirement for any of my print products is $400. So even with the $150 print credit, they have to spend that $400, meaning they're going to get a $550 value in products for $400. And you might wonder why we set it up that way. And the reason is simple. The pricing strategy attracts clients by lowering the barrier to entry. It just makes the decision easier for them. It's an easy yes. That session fee is forgotten as soon as it's spent, but once they're in the studio and they see how empowering and transformative this experience can be, investing in an album feels like the next natural step. Clients who have an incredible experience fall in love with their photos and they can't resist them. We just had one client come in from a similar sale at a bridal fair, and she spent $4,400 after the session. But remember, this is not just about getting clients into the door. It's about offering a taste of luxury, empowerment, and quite honestly, that is priceless. Your job is to wow them with the experience, and you will be rewarded at the end of it. Once clients see the value in their session, they often choose to invest well beyond the minimum. They recognize that these aren't just boudoir photos. They are moments that they can look back on their life for their lifetime. And typically, once they've had one session, they come back for another. Several of my clients have booked sales sessions every single time we run them. To run a successful semi-annual sale, you really need to do in-person sales. It will elevate both the client experience and the studio's profitability. And I really think that if you're not doing IPS, you're holding yourself back. Now, I have always done IPS, but I also know for some, it can give you anxiety. The sales part of photography isn't something most photographers signed up for, so I get why you might be nervous. Some photographers feel the nature of the IPS process, it might pressure clients, while others are worried about the complexity and it introduces into their business. Like, they're worried about how much work they're going to have to do, how much time they're going to spend in front of their clients, and how much work they feel that it is. However, personalized attention of the in-person sales session, it actually helps clients feel more satisfied with the entire experience because you're holding their hand from start to finish. And it also increases your sales average for the studio because if they were trying to do this by themselves, you send them a gallery and say, pick your photos for the album, they're going to spend hours trying to figure it out and they're not going to know how to do it. And they may end up just going with some digitals and then leaving it at that. However, when you do a in-person sales session, you're holding their hand through it, helping them pick the best photos from your experience because you have plenty of experience. You know what looks best, which one looks better. You've seen hundreds, thousands of photos, so you know what looks best with their body type, whereas they're just looking at it, not really knowing what they're looking at. So you want to make sure that you are holding their hand through the whole IPS session. It's going to help your sales average and it's going to leave your clients way happier. Now, the key to in-person sales, it begins at the initial booking. This phase is crucial in setting expectations and building trust, and you need to make sure that you're communicating clearly about what the session entails and the idea of the gorgeous products after, so that the client has created the expectations in her mind. If she's thrown into this situation and doesn't know what to expect afterwards, and then she's like, oh, you mean I have to pay an extra $1,000, and never expected it, she's going to leave unhappy. So the most important piece of a successful in-person session, you start from the beginning when they initially book the session, create an incredible experience for the client from the moment they book to the delivery of their images. And that is how you have extremely happy clients, and they're willing to pay $4,000, $5,000, $7,000. Throughout this whole process, it is vital to nurture the client relationship. This nurturing can take many forms, from emails that detail what to expect and how to prepare for the session, to consults that help break the ice and address any lingering hesitations. The goal is to help clients understand the value of the experience you're creating, which creates an environment where clients are excited to invest in the final products. At the session itself, every step needs to be executed with the same level of attention to detail as the Four Seasons or the Ritz. Let the client borrow your confidence and really focus on assisting her in having her own transformative experience. Like, make this session blow her mind so that she wants to spend $4,000 or $5,000, so she sees the value in spending that money. If you do this, by the time the client actually sees her photos at the in-person sales session, she's not just seeing the photos anymore, she's experiencing the entire journey. So with this approach, in-person sales can not only be very profitable, but it's also empowering as well. So I want you to think about in-person sales, and I've totally made this podcast episode a little bit about the importance of in-person sales, but I've also, to be honest, wanted to talk about this for a while. But it's not just about increasing your sales average. It's about getting the clients through the door by lowering that barrier to entry. They have wanted this. They wouldn't be on your email list if they didn't. So when you do this thoughtfully, it reinforces the personal and emotional connections of the boudoir session. It's going to leave your clients happier, and it's also going to put more money in your pocket. But in all honesty, it's just as important to have that in-person sales so that they experience the whole thing, so that they leave feeling beautiful and feeling like you held their hand. And that's when you can charge those luxury prices. Now, when you have high traffic coming to your website during a semi-annual sale, you really need to make sure that you have a streamlined booking system. Having a booking system not only ensures smooth operation, but it also significantly enhances your customer experience by making the booking process effortless. We want it to be an easy yes. Without having a system like this in place, it's going to be chaos, especially when you're handling this increased volume of bookings. It can lead to double booking, missed messages, general decrease in these client satisfaction. And to be honest, I don't want you to be spending all your time sending invoices and contracts only for potential clients to not follow through with the booking process. I want to tell you a really quick story about how I spent mine and Tommy's first holiday together. It was, I believe, Thanksgiving in 2018. I had not yet implemented Acuity, which is what I use now. I sat there that entire Thanksgiving break that the two of us had, and I sent out at minimum 25 invoices and 25 contracts, and only had 15 of those follow through and book a session. So I was spending hours emailing clients back and forth, trying to send out invoices and contracts, only to have 15 of 25 book. I don't know the math on that, but I don't want you to do that. And that's why I went ahead and used Acuity scheduling. You could use Calendly, you could use any other system. It doesn't really matter, but I like Acuity. I think it is the most easy one to implement and use, and it's easy on the client end too. But that handles everything from scheduling the session to sending the invoice, paying the invoice, signing the contract, all in one. So All you need to do, and I talk about this all the time, but all you need to do is drive traffic to that page, give them the coupon code, and they're going to book without needing you holding their hand the whole time. So your entire job the weekend of your big sale is marketing. Like, you've got the back end set up, so you're just going to have clients rolling in booking sessions. That way, all you have to do on those weekends is enjoy your weekend. You don't have to worry about everything because it is all automated. You're just going to have these bookings rolling in while you're eating lunch, while you're on the lake. You might be camping and you have no service. You come back from that weekend and you have 15 new bookings on your calendar. How great would that be? So that's what you need to make sure that you do, is set up the automations, set up all the marketing so it's going out and you can enjoy your freedom. Now, during any sale, there are going to be some clients who object. Now, if you're on the lake or you don't have service for that weekend, you're not going to have to worry about these objections because you won't be able to answer them. I would make sure that if you are out of service, that you have told them on your stories, on your Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Let them know that you are not going to be there to answer questions, but you can always answer questions Monday when you get back or whenever you get back. That's totally fine. But what I want to talk about specifically is clients who have previously booked sessions at regular prices, and then they have sessions coming up during this promotional period. So let's say somebody books 2 weeks ago, you have the sale going on right now, and they have a session. Let's say that sale is, they can book from June 15th through August 15th. This client that booked 2 weeks ago has a July 15th session date. It's not going to be very often, but she might ask, well, do I qualify for this promotion since I just booked, just missed it, and my session is during this promotional period? So what do you do? How do you handle that? To be honest, I go ahead and offer the sale. I let her have the promotional print credit. That's all I do. It's not going to be something that I'm going to offer. They're going to need to ask. But it is something that you can do just to keep clients happy, because honestly, if I have somebody who is probably going to spend between $2,000 and $3,000, sure, you can have a $150 print credit. I'm totally fine with that. But not everyone is going to ask this. And honestly, most businesses are probably not going to offer this. Like, imagine going to Louis Vuitton and saying, hey, I bought this handbag last week. It's on sale this week. Can I get my money back? You would never consider that. Most clients aren't going to say anything either. So what I'm saying is, you don't need to tell your clients that book during this time that you're going to give them the sale, only the ones who ask. Another thing you need to consider is setting boundaries while ensuring excellent client service or customer service, however you want to say it. Clearly communicate the terms and conditions on sales and promotions from the beginning to prevent misunderstandings. So make sure that you have well-defined studio policies on how to handle situations where clients book at full price before the sale is announced, or if they book their sales session, no reschedules. Whatever your policies are, make sure that the clients understand them before they go ahead and book the session. Now let's talk about marketing. And this is very, very important. I've kind of already covered it a little bit, because what we want to do is automate the back end so that all you're doing is marketing during the sale. You're just driving traffic. What we always talk about, like my forever booked out method, build the back end so your only job is driving traffic. It is the same principle with the sale. Here's a step-by-step outline to easy and effective marketing for sales. 2 weeks before the sale, I send an initial email to the entire email list. It should announce the upcoming sale, highlight the benefits of booking a session during the period, tease some of the special offers that's going to be available, build anticipation. What's really fun is that the longer you're in business, the more your audience will anticipate these sales. A lot of my sales clients are repeat clients, and they just wait for my sale. It gives them an excuse to book. Like, I'm saving all this money. I need to be on your schedule for this session. Now, following this initial email, I want you to start talking about the sale on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever social media you use. Use posts and stories to share what clients can expect from the sale, such as behind the scenes, testimonials, sneak peeks. Build that anticipation. That is so important. And just regularly post. Make sure that they know that there's an upcoming opportunity to save a lot of money and get this thing that they've always wanted. But I also want you to know that while you're building this anticipation, you're not going to book any sessions, and that's okay. You're not going to book sessions at your regular price because they're waiting to see what you're offering. And then 1 week before the sale, really increase the frequency of these communications. Like if you send out weekly emails, add a PS, don't forget the sale is coming. It's just a week away. It creates a sense of urgency. On social media, do that countdown thing on your stories. Engage with followers with daily posts. Make sure you're engaging with your audience as well, because that communication really will help your local audience. Now, during the weekend of the sale, and I do like to do my sales from like Thursday to Monday, Friday to Monday, whatever you feel is better, but I like to do the sale over a weekend when boudoir clients are paying more attention because they're not worried about work and all that kind of stuff. So let's say you're doing a 4-day sale. My first email is the day of the open. So I like to do like 8 a.m. or whatever time your sale opens. This is when most of your sessions are going to book, and all you want to do is get them excited. The second email is day 2 of your sale. I like to do it in the morning, and I include testimonials and photos that get them really excited about the sale. The third email is the evening of the 3rd day, only 24 hours left so that they know that it's about to close. It gives them a little bit of urgency, but the real urgency comes with the last day of this sale, and I send that one 6 hours before the sale closes, and it really builds that urgency. So you're going to book most of your sessions during the first and the last day of the sale. Totally normal to have a real big lull in the middle of it. To make things easy, I like to repurpose emails for social media posts to ensure that the message reaches as many potential clients as possible, and it just really gets them excited. Honestly, they might realize that you're doing both of them at the same time, like you're repurposing the email for your social media, vice versa. It's totally fine. They're not going to care. They probably won't even notice, in all honesty. One of my 6-figure simplified photographers, Carly, she booked 17 sessions using this exact promotional strategy by engaging her audience with teasers, strong calls to action before the sale approached, and then really going all in the weekend of with the promotions and just sending them to her booking link so that they could book sessions. Then we had Karen. She's another 6FS photographer. She booked 7 sessions 3 weeks after joining 6FS, and she used the exact strategy as well. Kristen, she's a private coaching client. She booked like 20 sessions this past Black Friday using this exact sales strategy. She had to increase her prices. Like, she had to increase the sale price because she booked so many sessions, and she still booked more sessions after the increase. She was like, hey guys, sold out of these, but still want the rest of you to have an opportunity to book with me. This is the new price. Oh, and Faith, you probably heard her on the podcast probably about a year ago. She sells out her sale every single time she runs one, like usually overselling her sessions. Now, if you only get one thing from this episode, I want you to see how a sale can be a good way to get great clients in your studio without losing money. Sure, you might lose some money up front with a lower session fee, but with an effective price list, you will make it up on the back end. Even with these sales sessions, my sales average is $2,500 or more, and I've already told you that I had a $4,400 sale from a similar sales session. And it's because my price list is set to bring in those sales. But unfortunately, I can't do the work for you. So it's your turn to take all this information. So go plan out your sale, set up the necessary systems to manage the process smoothly so that you're not spending an unreasonable amount of your weekends running those sales, sending out contracts and invoices, and just crossing your fingers that they book. So remember, the goal is not just to sell sessions, but to create an experience that clients are going to rave about, ensuring that they not only return, but send all their friends too. So get to work and make sure that you let me know how it goes. I'm on Instagram at It's Tracy Lynn, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.